All right, so say you printed your first version and now you want to print your second version. So you come in and looks weird. There we go. That was weird. Kind of went blank on me there for a minute. But let's say you come in and you're like, all right, I just printed my 70 and now I want to print my, 60. Oh, that one's a little big. Let's try the 50, see if it's smaller. All right. So you say you want to print this one and it's smaller. So you want to scale up the floor plans and the views. So what you would do, or what I would suggest you do, is you could go ahead and scale these views as they are. But if you scale them and move them around and you try to reprint your 70, then it will be too big, right? It'll overlap. So what I would recommend that you do is come down and right click on your composition sheet and duplicate the sheet with views. And then you'll just duplicate it. And what it's going to do is it's going to make a copy of every one of those views and it's going to make a whole nother sheet for you, right? So here's that copy. So you can maybe just name that 2 and then come in here and name that one 1, right? And so leave the 1 the same, go to composition 2, and we're going to go ahead and all of these are different views, right? They're unique views. So those old views are going to stay the same. And now I want to change these views. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come, first of all, I think I'll turn off these reference planes because I don't want them on. So if I pick this and go to my view template down here and go to my annotation override, then I'll just type in reference and turn off reference planes and click OK and click OK, and they should all go off. So now I don't have any reference planes on those views. And then, and that's fine for the other view as well. So the next thing I want to do is I want to come in and adjust the scale. And right now, because these numbers have already been placed using another scaled view, it's probably better just to go ahead and delete them, which is all right. And you may want to rearrange them too, but I'll just delete these views. And then I'll come into my Plan A01 schematic copy, right? And I'll rescale that. So I'm going to come in and change this guy to 1/16 of an inch. I'll make it twice as big. It made the sections come on. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my view template, go back to my annotations, type in section, SEC, section, get rid of those guys, click OK. So you may have to do a few things in order to clean these guys up. And then what I'm going to do is, let's go back to the composition sheet. Then I'll take that guy and drag it on. So if I drag this guy on, right, it's still really big, still super big. That's because it's being cropped by the old scope box. So if I Control Z and I go to my site plan, I can see that scope box. So the plan is being cropped using that old scope box. So I'm just going to pick this and duplicate or create similar. And I'm going to make a scope box that just encompasses that guy, right? And I'm going to set this guy to, I'll name it scope box B, okay? And now I'll go to all my copies for my floor plans. And instead of scope box A, I'm going to set it to scope box B, which is going to rescale all those. So, or recrop all those. And then if I go to my composition 2 sheet and I drag this Plan A schematic copy on, you'll see it's much smaller, right? It kind of sizes the whole thing down. And then all you want to do is come over here and change this to number only, right? And then kind of place it. And then just start dragging your other ones on. So I'll drag on 2. Oh, except I need to rescale those, right? They're still at 32nd. So let's pick these guys and rescale them. So I'll take that and do it to 16th, right? And if I come in and start placing those guys, there's that one. and then I'll do 3 right there, and then 4 there, and 5 there, and 6 there. Whoops. Copy 6, sorry. 6 there. Okay. And just pick all these and switch them to the number. Right? And so then you've got those guys set. If you want to turn the crop region off, you'll have to double click on them and turn the crop region off. It won't print. So even if it's still there, you can, you know, not worry about it too much. But if it drives you crazy, you can go through and turn those off. All right, so that upscales all of those, right? So you can see those. And then the same thing you can do for this view here. This is a copy again of the other view, right? So let's say if I double click on this and I like the visual style, let me turn on the hidden elements, right? And so, or let's turn on the crop region, right? So I want to make this crop region smaller again. Again, it's a separate view. This is a copy, right, of the other one. And so if I do that and then click off of that, then I can double click out here and move this over. And if I want to make it bigger, I can come in and pick this and size and crop it. And let's make this guy, instead of 2 inches, 3 inches in width, we'll make it 5 inches. Whoops. We'll make it, so size and crop. We'll scale locked and then make it 5 inches, which will make it 6 inches, and click OK. Right, so now that's bigger, right? So, and you could come in and double click on this guy and pick this and pull it in some more if you wanted to crop it a little more so it wasn't sticking out everywhere, right? And so then you would do that. And these guys, the same thing. So if I came in here, this is 30 seconds. So if I want to set it to a 16th, right? Now that's a 16th. I'll double click off of it, double click on this one, set that to a 16th. So there it is, right? And then if I double click out and get the view, move it down here. Whoops, wrong view. It's that view. See if I can get that view, move it down here. Right, if I double click on it and I turn on the crop region, you'll see the crop region show up and you can actually change that, you know, where it is smaller, right? So there's that one. And then this one, I could do the same thing with the crop region and pick it and make it smaller. Right, and then double click off of it, and then I can move it around out here. And then again, you can move, or you can turn off those crop regions after you're done adjusting them if they drive you crazy, but they won't print. So, whoops, wrong thing. And again, same thing for these guys. So this one is at 32nd. I can just go in and change it to a 16th, right? Again, same thing. If you want to turn on the crop region and pick it and pull it down, you can, right? Turn off the crop region. And then same thing for this guy, 16th. The ones that don't have view templates assigned to them, right, you'll just be able to change them manually without having to go through the view template down the bottom, and that's 16th. This one needs a little adjustment, right? So, whoops, accidentally opened the family. So this one obviously needs some adjustment. So I would come in here and, you know, make sure it says 2D and just drag these guys over. Oh, always such a pain. There we go. Right. And then once you're done resizing them, I guess you could also, I mean, you can move them down, right? Same thing with the crop regions. This one has a scope box on it, so you could release it from the scope box and then adjust it, so you don't have to worry about it adjusting to that. Or you could actually set it to scope box B, right? So if I went to scope box B, oh, scope box B is a little smaller than it needs to be. It needs to be taller, right? So you could go in and actually go to your 3D view and grab scope box B and drag it up. And then if you go back to your composition page, that guy will be there, right? Can turn off that. And then we'll move this guy down and maybe set it to scope box B, right? And turn that guy off. Okay, so hopefully that all makes some sense, right? So now this guy's ready to print. Now, if I wanted to, I could go back to my composition 1 sheet, right? And if I flip out this guy for the 70 again, right, it will still work. So now, but if I go to my composition 2 sheet, woof, right, it's way too big, right? So, but you have both of them. So you would just switch them out when you wanted to print this one and then go to this one when you wanted to print the smaller one, right? So this one works for the 50 and the other one works for the 70. And then